Hey, welcome back to my kitchen. My name's Rex, and I am the Adequate Chef. Now you might be asking yourself, where exactly have I been? Well, you see, I had a bit of an issue. Around the New Year's, I sort of noticed in my pictures I'd become quite rotund. That's round. And I decided that I needed to do something about it. So I've been on a diet. And it's now May, and I've lost over 50 pounds. So I'm ready to start eating again. As much as I love my food, and as much as I wanted to keep cooking and editing, I actually sat down to edit the episode that you're about to watch, Chocolate Mousse, and it just hurt to watch it because I knew how good that thing tasted, and all I wanted to do was go eat chocolate mousse. So I just put everything on the shelf. My camera's been away in the closet along with the lights and everything. But I'm ready to dust off my cookware, gas up that stove, and we're going to cook some good eats. So sit back, enjoy this episode. It can be a little bit lengthy, but if you do this recipe and follow it, I can promise you, you are going to have one delicious dessert. Thanks for coming back and watching me, and hopefully I can get some new videos out soon. Now today we are making mayonnaise au chocolat. Basically it's chocolate mousse. It's supposed to be a really good recipe by Julia Childs, and it doesn't use the cream, it uses a folded in egg white. I had to research how to fold in egg whites because, believe it or not, I've been doing it wrong until I found out. More cut, fold, cut, fold, cut, fold, which I haven't been doing. I definitely didn't do it on my pumpkin pie, and we'll see how those turn out. Now, this recipe calls for like a candied orange rind. So what I've done is I've peeled oranges. I just took a regular peeler and I just went around the outside edges, and it gave me a nice long thing of rinds. Now we're going to cut these into what we call julienne strips, basically about 1.5 to 2 inches long and about maybe a quarter, not even a quarter, probably an eighth of an inch thick. And we're going to boil those in a sugar sauce on the stove, and we're basically going to candy those, and we're going to chop those up, about a quarter cup of them, and we're going to put them into the mousse. So let's get going on that, and at that point, once we can jump into this mousse, we'll be ready to go. See you soon. But you probably don't need to, but I cut off that outer side there just to make it a little bit cleaner cuts, and then I'm going to cut this into strips. Problem with drinking coffee, at least for me, in cooking, is I got the shakes from my dad. I'm not necessarily the most steady-handed person in the world. Surgeon was definitely out. Not to mention I never would have made it through the schooling. But julienne strips of orange slices. Okay, now that we have our julienne strips, I have a quart of water boiling here on the stove. Let's get some better light back there. I have a quart of water boiling on the stove, and we're going to simmer these, which I'm really close to that already. We're going to simmer these for about 20 minutes in water until they're tender to the bite. At that point, we're going to go ahead and run them under cold water to refresh them, and then we're going to dry them off. And we're going to basically bring some water up almost to candy mixture to where it's streaming, and we're going to drop these in it, and we're going to let them bathe in some candy. A candy bath until it's time to use them. So, and these will keep for a long time if you're going to use these in the future. Okay, I've got my sugar. I've got 6 minutes left on my pills, so I'm trying to expedite all of this. And I'm going to go ahead and bring this up to a boil. Turn down the heat just a little bit. 202, 204. I mean, we're rapidly accelerating. 220, 221. All right, we're done. I'm going to turn off the heat. That's going to start to cool. Now we want to put in 1 teaspoon of vanilla. If you have access to Adam's vanilla extract, it's very good. There goes the vanilla. We'll go ahead and stir that in. Like that. I'm just finishing up trying to dry these orange peels. Plop them right in. Mix it around. Now you want this to sit for 30 minutes. Pop our timer up to 30 minutes. And again, you can see that's really nice and coated, and we're just going to let those sit and candy up for us. Now, I'm trying to, here, let me block the big bright light behind you. Again, let it sit for 30 minutes and we can use that in our mousse. This is optional, but it sounded really delicious and I definitely wanted to try it. See you in a bit. Okay, I'm going to get some things going here. This is sort of, there's a lot coming together. I'm probably going to do some. I'll just try to pan the camera down and work a little bit on the stove. Basically, if you remember when we, what recipe was that where we creamed, oh, the cake. When we mixed the eggs and the sugar and it made a nice pale yellow in the mixer. We're going to do that again with the cream and butter. I got 4 egg yolks. Let me run through the ingredients for you. 4 egg whites. I've got 4 tablespoons of strong coffee, 6 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate, Ghirardelli. I've got 3 tablespoons of orange liqueur. I used Grand Gala instead of Grand Marnier. And you need fine sugar, which I couldn't find. Basically, you take sugar, put it in your food processor, and just beat the crap out of it for about a minute, and it makes it nice and fine and faster absorbing, so it works better in a chocolate mousse. And we got 1.5 sticks of softened butter, and we should be good to go. So I'm going to get the butter mixture going, and then we're going to have to bring it back and forth. We're going to put it in just simmering water, just below simmering, and we're going to mix it for 3 to 4 minutes until it's almost foaming. You're probably not going to see that because I won't really have time to position my cameras. And then I'm going to have an ice water bath where we're going to bring it back, and for 3 to 4 minutes I'll try to beat that back into the ribbon, and then we'll be ready to go. Okay, today I'm incorporating my old mixer in only because I want to use my KitchenAid for my egg whites, and it's sort of everything's going to come together. So remember I said, and I know this is going to be a little loud, we want a nice pale creamy mixture, and we're just about there. I put a spoon in it to help keep it away from the side because I want to make sure everything gets mixed nicely. And that's the perfect consistency. It's a beautiful pale yellow. At this point, we're really going to come in with our Grand Gala orange liqueur, and we're going to go ahead and mix that in. Turn this down. Notice it thinned out, so it's going to pick up a little bit. And we're going to blend that nicely. Okay, at this point, as you can see, I have a really nice, good mixture. This is the sugar and the egg yolks and the Grand Gala. Now, I have some water that's not exactly simmering, and I'm going to take it over to the stove, and I'm going to have to go to a wire whisk at that point, and we're going to go ahead and wire whisk this for about 3 to 4 minutes. And what should happen is it should slightly begin to foam, and that's when you want to bring it off. And we're going to bring it straight over here to, to an ice bath, cold water, and I'm going to continue mixing it for another 3 to 4 minutes, and we're going to try to get back that ribbon texture. At that point we go to the egg whites, which I haven't even started yet. Okay, I got my water. It's not quite simmering as she says. I'm just going to set this right in there, and we're going to start mixing it. And like I said, it should get foamy, or it should get too hot to the touch. It's taking me a little longer than I thought on the, this bowl resiliently held its temperature. You want this stuff back in the ice to be almost the consistency of mayonnaise, which is right where we're at, so I'm happy with that. At this point, we go back over to the stove. Now I've already put you want to mix your butter in to your coffee and your chocolate, about a tablespoon at a time, to make sure that it is really even. I've already taken my orange, 1/4 of that orange rind, I've diced it up. I'm going to go ahead and introduce that right into the chocolate. like so. Try not to make a big mess. Wonderful. And we'll just go ahead and mix that right in to the chocolate. And we should have a nice, creamy, smooth chocolate mix, which is exactly what we have. At this point, we're going to go ahead and beat the chocolate into my egg white mixture. So let's go ahead. You can see how nice and creamy that is. And we're going to empty all of that right into there. She says that the orange is actually a really good flavor in this. Okay, at this point we're going to fold in our egg whites. Now, I have failed in the past at folding in egg whites, and let me tell you why. First, you take 1/4 of the mixture. So if I just go into my egg whites here, which I've already whipped, I'm going to bring out about 1/4. And what you want to do is, they say, you want to introduce this to the batter. So we're actually just going to mix this in. It's basically, it's just telling the batter, hey, egg whites are coming, get ready to get fluffy. And because the remaining, we're actually going to fold in and not mix in. So you're not folding these, the first quarter, you're not going to fold. Mix. Now at this point, let's go ahead and we're just going to slide the remaining egg whites right onto the top here. We want that fluffy bubble texture. Now, how do you do this? Well, you basically divide in the center. Let me try to get more centrally located here. And then you're going to turn it over. You see that? Divide and turn over. Divide and turn over. So we're folding in the mixture. Now, this can take, it's going to look to you like, you know what? This is not mixing. And trust me, that's sort of why I wasn't happy with my pumpkin pie, because I was like, you know what, this just isn't mixing. But I didn't really as much fold as I did mix. So just keep mixing, folding, mixing, folding. I'm sorry, cutting. I'm going to stop saying cutting and folding. Notice I just keep rotating the bowl just a little bit. And I understand it's okay to shoot somebody if you're serving this and they say, my God, this is great chocolate pudding, because this is not chocolate pudding. As a Swedish chef would say, it's all the chocolate mousse. Today we're gonna make a chocolate mousse. First you gotta fold in the egg whites into the chocolate mousse. Alright, so you can see here, it's mixing really nice now. It's almost all in, and I'm just going to stop. Now at this point, we're going to turn it into our dishes. Be right back. You can use different types of dishes. You can use something like this. I think for the festive holiday feeling, I'm going to go a little bit more like this. So let's see how I can do this here without making a complete mess. Just going to pour that in just like so. I'm going to leave some room for a little bit of cream. There you go. You do all 4 of these, or however much you have, and you should refrigerate at least 2 hours, if not overnight. It's about 10 o'clock, and I'm not eating till 4, so it should be perfect. Okay, now all of my dishes, as you can tell, have moused. I'm going to just put a little saran wrap, keep the fridge smells out of them. I'm going to wrap these up and refrigerate them and eat them later. All in all, it wasn't that bad. It is a lot of work, but from what I understand, and obviously we can't eat it just yet, it's well worth the wait and the time. So we'll see ya, and I'll eat it in front of you. You know I will. Thanks. Okay, well, Thanksgiving's over, and everything started coming together right there at the end. And honestly, I didn't get reveals on my turkey. I mean, my finish, like when I was eating it and stuff. I didn't get any of that. So it was sit down, eat. I was tired, frustrated, but everything came out delicious. But we're talking about chocolate mousse. This is my favorite, and let's just go in here. You can see the richness here. Look at that. Now it has those chunks of oranges in it. I've eaten like 6 of these, maybe 7. They're so good. No, hands down, and it's better than ice cream. I like it a lot. So I recommend you do the mousse. Don't do the, remember I had that thick bowl? It didn't work so well over the hot water. It took much longer to get to the consistency that I wanted. Definitely use like a stainless steel thinner bowl, transfer the heat a lot quicker, and it'd make it a lot easier and quicker of a process. Peeling the orange and doing the orange peels was quite a long ordeal, sort of, but it was well worth it. I think it makes the dish, but of course chocolate mousse is good without the orange peels as well. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I've been enjoying eating all 6 of them. Bon appetit.